Howdy everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going over some classic nostalgia trends from the Team Fortress 2 history that I remember as an old school player. If you like this video, then leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future videos that are surely to come. Don't forget to hit the bell notification and be sure to follow my Twitter and Instagram accounts for future posts and updates. Now with that said, let's get on with the video. So as someone who's been playing Team Fortress 2 since 2011 and since when Team Fortress 2 became free to play, one of the very things I always remember is when keys were 2.33 refined metal. As a kid that was 11, I would always remember that keys were so expensive, and whenever I would sell all my keys, I would accumulate so much refined metal. I was one of those people that would usually use real money to actually buy keys. And being a kid, I never realized that 2.33 refined metal was actually not that much during that time. It's just really amazing to see that when I was a kid playing back in 2011, keys are now worth around 54 refined metal, which is insane. If you guys really want to call me a boomer in Team Fortress 2, then that is not an understatement because I have witnessed the keys market rise so much. To also keep this in mind, this was the beginning stages of trading, because back in September 30th of 2010, that's when the Manconomy update came out, which allowed new people and Team Fortress 2 players to do trading. I was there during the beginning days of trading. In fact, this brings me to my second point, where Team Fortress 2 actually had a different type of trading system. You see guys, back in the old days of Team Fortress 2, we actually didn't use this Steam trading system to do our trades. We actually used this different trading system where our items would be shown on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side you'll see the top menu and then the bottom menu. It was similar to the Steam trading, however the only difference was that you can only add up to 8 items, and the trading process was so much quicker because all you needed to do was just click on the very right hand side of it, your check mark and the other person's check mark. As soon as y'all clicked that, then boom, you made the trade. There was no authentication and there was no process for Steam to check your items in case if they were validated. Once Team Fortress 2 transitioned to the new trading system where now you can put a buttload of items into a trade window, I think that really changed the way we do our trading as a whole community. It's really funny because as a kid, I remember when I was trying to trade with someone, he had an unusual that I wanted and I had 10 cosmetics that he wanted to buy off of me for that unusual. Now before you say anything else about 10 cosmetics for an unusual, yes, that was an actual thing back in the old days of Team Fortress 2, except the unusual that I was buying, and I remember correctly because it was my very first unusual that I ever had, was a Nuts and Bolts football helm. And if I haven't blown your mind already that even a Nuts and Bolts unusual can get you 10 cosmetics, then you're in for a treat because there was so many other scenarios that were similar to that. But to get back on track, so this guy that I was trading with said to promise me that I would not leave the server and run away with the unusual. Because again, you gotta remember that I was only allowed to toss in 8 cosmetics at a time to make one trade. So being the good little child that I was, I said, yeah, of course, sure, I'll retrade you back. And I did retrade him back, and I gave him my last 2 cosmetics, and we were both very happy. But man, that trading system, it's really crazy to see now that we don't have to put in 8 items anymore, and we can just put in, I don't know, 200 items I think, in one trade window per trade. Because when you think about it, what if today you had to trade a key and you can only put in 8 refined metal per trade? That would be a living hell. Now here's something that hopefully you guys remember that I for surely do as an old school Team Fortress 2 player. And that is when we used to call cosmetics hats, as well as having only 2 slots available to equip our items. I'll start off with cosmetics first, because when I was a kid, I remember when I wanted to show off my hats, I would always tell them, hey guys, look at my new hat that I just got. I got it from this so-and-so, and it really looks great with this miscellaneous item. And geez, I also remember as soon as they implemented the system where you can now equip 2 miscellaneous items, as well as changing the name from hat to cosmetics so that way they can become more diversified when trying to explain an item, it was so tough for me to get out of this repetition of trying to say hat instead of cosmetic. It's really funny because nowadays we always say cosmetics without even thinking of the word hats. And once that secondary equip region became available, oh my goodness, there was just so many combinations that people were coming up with to make their outfits and their classes look so much more appealing. Man, am I so glad that we have 2 equip regions right now, because I'm able to just always get inspired by looking at new people with new outfits and new ideas to customize their classes. It's almost endless. But I'm going to actually transfer to something that many people don't actually remember, but it's still kind of common, and that's the Team Fortress 2 team Meet the Videos. I think it's really safe to say that that is something that's been a living relic of the Team Fortress 2 community that a lot of us always remember watching and having great memories, but we often forget that they existed. It's kind of like watching an old cartoon and you're saying that I remember watching that old cartoon and it was just such a joy in my life. And then once they start getting updated, you don't really remember how the original version was. And I can even use this case with Team Fortress 2 because it's been so long since there was a new Meet the Team Fortress 2 video, because they've already done all of them. And now they're transitioning over to new shorts where those have just become such a living relic that I remember I love to watch. When I first saw those Team Fortress 2 videos, I was like, wow, I need to show these to my friends because these characters are so appealing, they're so awesome, and Valve just did such a great job. Not to mention that, they also did an amazing job with Half-Life. Hopefully you guys understand that this was when Team Fortress 2 was at its peak. Similar to Overwatch, you know, you would get a brand new video and then it's like, oh my god, this is so funny. Look at what the scout did with the heavy. He just punched him and then he took his sandwich and then he said that iconic catchphrase, bonk. Now it's kind of used as a meme. And I'm really for certain that without these Team Fortress 2 videos, we would not have gotten any recent Garry's Mod videos or Source Filmmaker videos where they make parodies of these characters. And my goodness, there are so many hilarious Team Fortress 2 parody videos out there. If people don't even remember Team Fortress 2, I'm pretty damn sure that they'll remember the very funny parodies that people are making to this very day of these living relics. By now, hopefully you guys can tell that I'm a really old school Team Fortress 2 player, which in actuality, I actually have been playing Team Fortress 2 longer since 2011. I've actually been playing probably around since 2008, but I used to play on the Xbox, then I transitioned over to PC when my brother introduced me to Team Fortress 2 on the internet. And that's actually a really great point that I want to end off on, and that's when I became a Team Fortress 2 player, when TF2 became free to play. You know, if I actually remember correctly, I think there was a lot of people that had a lot of negativity towards free-to-play people, and believe it or not, again, I was actually one of those people that was born, quote-unquote, during the time of the free-to-play, so I'm a free-to-play generation kid. I also remember my older brother introducing me to the cosmetic systems, or at the time it was called hats, the weapons, the servers. There was just so much that the Team Fortress game had to offer on PC. And this in itself is even another nostalgia thing, but I also remember that when we were getting my account set up, we tossed in about $20, which also at the time you couldn't even use a Steam points card because those didn't even exist. So we actually used one of our credit cards to put in, again, about $20, and we bought ourselves some cosmetics for me, but here's the really funny thing about this. We couldn't even trade those cosmetics, so they were all locked into my account. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why didn't you just buy anything off the Steam Community Market or maybe Marketplace.tf? Well, those didn't even exist either. So yes, guys, the only official way to buy items was through the Team Fortress 2 Manco store. And when you bought items through the Manco store, those items were untradeable. But then a couple years later, I think around 2012 or 2013, those items that all became untradeable became your nowadays uncraftable cosmetics. And that was one of my most memorable experiences in Team Fortress 2 when I became a free-to-play. So I might pick back up on this topic someday soon and let you guys know about other nostalgic experiences I've had during my time as a Team Fortress 2 player. Sort of like a part 2 to this. But anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this video for today. I hope you really enjoyed this video and you learned something about Team Fortress 2's history with the old school character Sky High Ken. If you enjoyed this nostalgic video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more future videos coming up soon. Also, as a reminder, be sure to tap that notification button for reminders on videos to come soon, and follow me on my social media accounts for updates on new content. Take care, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.